They say the American market is a gold mine for European entrepreneurs, but how do you stand out in the competitive landscape? I'm Christina Rubafe-Broaddus, the American Market Alchemist, and I believe that anyone can write their U.S. success story to amplify their influence and scale their impact beyond the borders of their home market. In this podcast, you'll hear inspiring stories and practical advice from American market experts and European entrepreneurs who are making an impact in the U.S. Tune in each week for a dose of motivation and tactical tips to build your influence and visibility in the world's largest market so you stand out, attract more clients, and turn your European business into American gold. Now, let's dive in. Things slow down in the summer, so it's the perfect period to step back and reevaluate how you organize your work, especially if you're trying to grow your business, get more clients, do more prospecting more regularly, and just get to those big goals that you have for getting those American clients for your business. Now, this is exactly what I'm working on this week, not getting American clients for my business, although I did get an American client for my business. So oddly enough, helping with their LinkedIn communications. Anyway, that's a different story for another episode. But last month, the reason that this came about and the reason that I'm sharing it with you on this episode, which is a little different from the other episodes, which are really focused on getting American clients, having your LinkedIn strategy so you can attract American clients and cultural differences and all of that. Last 6 weeks or so, 4 to 6 weeks, my schedule was insane. Like my assistant, Lindsay, our customer success manager, she sent me this message. She was desperately trying to find some slots in my calendar for some appointments. And she sent me this message like, your hours are insane right now. And I just said, yeah, I know. I'm very much looking forward to vacation in a few weeks, because what was happening was I was traveling a lot. At the end of the day, when I wasn't traveling, I was spending, 8 or more hours on the computer. But when I looked back at the end of the day, I felt like I hadn't accomplished anything concrete that was moving me towards my bigger goals. But at the same time, I was feeling very frazzled and like, oh my goodness, I'm just so tired, like exhausted. And when you start feeling that combination of totally just exhausted at the end of the day, but also unsatisfied because you're not making the progress that you want to do, whether it is getting appointments, engaging with prospects, doing sales appointments, publishing on LinkedIn, whatever that is, if you're getting to that point where you're feeling like you're spending tons of time and energy, but not working towards your goals, that's when it's really important to make time to redesign the way that you organize your work, because that is not sustainable otherwise. Now, it took me about 2 days of thinking about, what I wanted, what I didn't want, defining my goals for the next 3 to 6 months and how I will accomplish them. What will I put in place? And also accepting that this ideal schedule that I'm creating may not always resist the test of reality, and that's okay. So in this week's episode, I'm going to walk you through that document, my ideal repeatable week. I actually started out by sketching it. This is what it looked like. Sketching it out before I put it into the document that we're going to look at, that you can make a copy of, that you can use for redesigning your own work organization if you feel like you need to do that to have a better second half of the year. And we're going to look at that. Now, if you are listening to this as a podcast, I will put the notes to the document of my ideal repeatable week so that you can listen and you can follow along. If you're watching this on video, we're going to switch gears and I'm going to share my screen and walk you through it so that you can see the reasoning behind it, how I designed my ideal repeatable week, which is going to be very different from your ideal repeatable week, but it'll give you some inspiration and give you some ideas on things to take into consideration as you design your own ideal repeatable week, so that, like I said, all of those big goals that you have for growing your business in the US market and getting more American clients, you're doing that consistently over the next 3 to 6 months, so you reach those big goals, because these are things that are often important but not urgent. And when it's important but not urgent, it always gets pushed to the back burner unless we are intentional about making time for it and setting limits and boundaries for ourselves. All right, so let's switch gears. Let's look at that document, and I will put the link to that document in the notes so that you can see it for yourself and make a copy and use it and all of that. All right, let's look. So this is my what I call ideal repeatable week, because like I said, the idea is that it is a system and that I can pretty much just repeat it every week. And I've put here, what are my goals? These are my goals for the next, let's say, 3 to 6 months. They may be reevaluated after 3 months. But anyway, these are my next immediate goals, which is to grow my LinkedIn following, to grow my email list for American Market Alchemist, and to grow my LAPS. And the LAPS, that stands for leads, appointments, presentations, and sales. So I want to get more leads, have more appointments with prospects, do more presentations to share what I do and how I do it, how I can help them. And then, of course, more sales for your business, because isn't that what we all want? So what I did here is Monday through Friday. I didn't schedule things on the weekend, but that's my own personal preference. You do you. And then I blocked it out into basically morning and afternoon. I have 2 days where I, put it in my schedule that running and having my breakfast, that is part of my day. It takes time. It's in the schedule. And then I decided, every Monday I'm going to work on this training course that I'm following. It's quite intense. As you can see, it takes up a lot of time, full mornings almost in my week. Because one of my goals is to grow LinkedIn, I've put down, this is my LinkedIn strategy. I'm going to send out DMs, doing nurturing and prospection, thanking new followers for following me, offering them a scorecard, which you guys don't know what that is yet, but I will tell you about it very soon. And I've got that in almost every day, I feel like, except Tuesday, where that morning is dedicated to writing the newsletter, doing the podcast and the video, and then commenting strategy, which we'll talk about. But you can see I've got this. This is a big part of this goal that I have. So I've got to make time for it. I've blocked out about an hour every day. Almost. You can see it's here, it's here, it's here. And I didn't put a specific time because I found that is just a little too constraining. I just know that sometime Monday morning, it needs to get done. Sometime Thursday morning, it needs to get done. Friday morning, it needs to get done. But that's in there. It's repeatable. And again, part of the LinkedIn strategy here is commenting on, again, the ideal goal is 30 people. Now, I've blocked out an hour to an hour and a half of that. Again, this is the ideal. We'll see what reality shows me. I might have to change that number to 20 or 15. Who knows? But commenting, again, this is going to be a big part of my LinkedIn growth strategy. So here you can see it's pretty much on every day. There it is. It's repeatable every single day. Now, I've also included in this some, taking time to step back and to analyze and to look at what's working, so that even though this is repeatable, you're not just on a hamster wheel repeating things that you don't know if they work or not. So I've actually included in my week time to analyze my metrics, to look at what's working, to maybe look at other big, more advanced creators to see what they're doing, take inspiration from that, maybe create some own templates that I can use in the future to make it easier to do my posting. And then I've also included a time every single day to program my LinkedIn post for the next day. And some people like to batch their writing, do all of your posts in one go. That's totally up to you. Like I said, this is my ideal repeatable week. Yours will probably look very different, and that's okay. And then I've also just put down at what time I want to be finished by the end of the day, dedicating some time for email, admin, and my closeout routine. And then on Friday, reflecting back on the past week, analyzing what went well, what didn't, and planning the week ahead. But the idea is that I've got these as tick boxes. And so I can print this out or just do it on the computer. And every single week, just say, all right, Monday, this is what I have to get through because I'm working towards these goals. And Tuesday, this is what I'm working through to get to these goals. And you can just repeat it, and it makes it easy to be consistent. And so there you have it. That is the ideal repeatable week that I worked on over the past couple of days for my own business to test out when I get back from vacation, to see, again, it's always theory, and then you have to test it, see if it resists reality. And that's what I'm going to be doing in August, September, and October. I want to try this out for at least 3 months so that I can really, test it out, improve it, tweak it as reality shows me that, maybe what I thought was ideal is not as realistic. But anyway, the idea is starting from something ideal and then making it as possible, if that makes sense. Now, I will share that document with you that you can copy, that you can personalize if you want to take this summer, slow down to redesign your own way of working. Like I said, a couple of important questions to ask yourself are, what are my goals over the next, let's say, 3 months? What do I need to do to accomplish those goals? And then how am I going to organize that into my weekly schedule so that I can do it consistently and I have manifested the time on my calendar. If it's not in your calendar, you've got to put it in your calendar. You've got to be able to see, I have to block out this time for doing these things. And as you saw, one of the things that I also asked myself is, what do I want to be doing and what do I not want to be doing? And based on the past 6 weeks or so, one of the things I didn't want to be happening was just having appointments all over, appointments and meetings all over my schedule sometimes in the morning, in the afternoon, spread over the day, because what was happening was I was going from meeting to meeting or appointment to appointment, and that was preventing me from doing the work that I needed to do to also work towards my goals. So now, as you can see, as you saw, I only had very specific spots in my schedule, which was Tuesday afternoon, Wednesday afternoon, Thursday afternoon for appointments. And when those get filled, well, then the person just has to make an appointment for the following week or the following week. And it's a way of protecting your time, but also showing others that your time is very valuable. Time, like I said, time is the most precious asset that we have. You have to protect it so that you're able to reach the bigger goals that you have for your business. And especially if those goals include a lot of LinkedIn work, prospecting work, reaching out to people, creating assets for your business, like working on your website, on documents, brochures, sales emails, any of that. That takes, you've got to be able to get into the deep work, and that often takes 2 to 4 hours of getting into that. So you've got to put that into your calendar, into your schedule, so that you make time for it, because otherwise those things, they are always important, but they are rarely urgent. And like I said, if you're not making sure that you're doing them consistently, you're going to get to the end of the year and feel like, I don't know what did I accomplish? I don't know. You want to be able to look back and see the progress that you made on your bigger goals, and having this ideal repeatable week is one way of ensuring that you're consistently working towards those bigger goals for building your business to be able to scale up, thrive, and succeed in whatever you're doing in the American market or elsewhere. All right, so that's it. I would love to know how you organize your work. If you're planning to redesign your work this summer and start fresh after vacation, let me know down in the comments. And also, if you're not on my email list for the American Market Alchemist and you want to learn how to stand out, scale up, and thrive in the American market, I'll put the link to get on the email list, to get that newsletter, get that scorecard that I mentioned. I'm going to be releasing that very soon. Very excited. And otherwise, I hope you have a good summer. I will be on vacation, but I will maybe still be publishing some things depending on the internet connection where I'm going, which is Brittany in France, if you're curious. Depending on the internet connection, depending on if I feel inspired to do and to share some things, which is probably going to be the case because I really love sharing these things with you guys. Or if I just want to take a total break, but we'll see. So I will maybe see you next week. I will maybe see you in August. Either way, I would love to know how you organize your work, how you grow your business consistently, if you're going to redesign anything this summer. And if you have vacation, I wish you a lovely, restful vacation. Thanks for listening to the American Market Alchemist podcast. If you're ready to amplify your influence and scale your impact in the U.S. market, become a member of my newsletter community. You'll get weekly tips on LinkedIn strategy, personal branding, and digital marketing to write your U.S. success story. The link to get the newsletter is in the show notes. I'm Christina Ruba Febradis, and I'll talk to you next time.